Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing this week? And who do we have in the house? Let's see. We've got Heartland HQ with Dink and Tank. We got Marianne Bimler, Heather Landskron. This is my buddy Chris, Adventure Awaits. And he put out a video. I need to watch his video today. I saw it, but I was on the run. Let's see. We've got LJ Woodworks. It's Todd Legendist. And Kevin, Hiking with Jackie Boy. We got Old Man King Homestead. And there's Hey, Johnny Gillum. Gillum Farms. My buddy. My other buddies. I got buddies. Let's see. We've got Linda Peterson. And there's Reverend Joe Jacobson. Tim Mason. Good evening. And there's James Hall. Angie. Our Cabin in the Woods, Angie. And Leanne Gunther. And let's see. Randy Ridge is in here. And Teresa Jinkowicz. MT Homestead. I didn't even fill my cup yet, but here it is. MT. Johnny's Lazy Crafts. Teresa. There's Lori Prepping for Heaven. This is an open mic, so you're welcome to come up and talk about your channel and what you did this week. So I did put out a new video. It's my lathe stand video or mobile cart. It's the one thing that I wanted to have done before I started doing projects, and kind of that way I can't put the... Well, I did put the cart before the horse, before the lathe. Cart first. Well, the table I have, the big bench I have is just too high. I mean, I'd actually have to stand on a step stool in order to work with it. So I had to make a stand that would make it proper height. You're supposed to have it at elbow level. The center point of the lathe needs to be at your elbow. There's Susie Doubt. Wow, you guys are commenting a lot, aren't you? That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for coming in every week and supporting my channel. I appreciate it so much. So yeah, that was a bigger project. It wasn't as big as a lathe project, or I mean the cornhole boards or anything like that, but it took me a bit. Just about every day for like 4 or 5 days after work. I think I took a big chunk of Saturday and worked on it too. And then editing. Oh, I don't even know why it took so long to edit it, but it did. But that's good. It sets me up to do the projects that I've been wanting to do for a while. I know people have been on to me like, when are you going to start using your lathe? When are you going to start using your lathe? Well, you forgot to mention the fact that I still have a drill press in the box. Yes, like Heather says, please smash that like button. New Horizon Above and Beyond is in here. Thank you. There's Johnny Gillum.
Hey.
Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
The day is no longer brand new, though. It's pretty old. It's old and tired.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I saw your video today.
Yeah, give me the what for on it.
I liked it.
You liked
It
it?
was good. It was really good.
Very little talking. I just
I
did
liked that. I really enjoyed that. The less you talked, the more I liked it.
Thanks. So I take it you don't like to hear me talk. Hey, you put out a video today and said no talking, just doing, and then I heard you blabbling with your friend.
Hey, was I talking to the camera? Not at all.
I'm
Never
joking.
did. But I didn't put it out today, so there's that.
Well,
Hey, Arlene.
I noticed it today, so it's new to me.
Yeah.
I watched it today.
Yeah. Yeah. I dig the not talking thing. I really do. I dig not talking.
It does make it easier for editing.
Yeah.
That's for sure, because then you can just go through and you can speed your stuff up and do whatever you want, and you don't have to compromise anything that you're doing because you had to blab your mouth. Would you shut up? I'm trying to edit here.
Exactly. But yes, I really did enjoy it. You know, I was thinking whenever I was looking at you putting those, I was thinking, man, he needs to make a skateboard.
Why? You like you want to get back at me for videotaping you while you fell off?
No, he needs to make a skateboard. I mean, I was watching you playing around with the
I have
around, and I was going, yeah, he needs to make a skateboard.
I have thought of doing graphics on skateboards.
Yeah.
And you know, there's a lot of people who will collect old skateboards because they're in layers of color.
Hey, Tony.
The wood is in layers of color, and then you cut it up and then you run it through the lathe. It just turns out so awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome designs come out of it.
Right. Right.
I like to get hold of some colored plywood.
Yeah. So, you know, the Black Widow Bows over in Missouri, they have a bunch of blanks. They have like wood like Bubinga and all kinds of stuff like that, which is a wood from the rainforest. It's a very dark wood. And, you know, some stuff like that turned on the lathe would be just amazing.
Oh, yeah.
So
I can't wait, but I need to get past my first couple of projects here to get into it because, you know, oh, my ugly stick isn't here.
Oh, I was going to tell you, I enjoyed you using that in your video.
It is the whole point. And, you know, the thing of it is, I did need to whack that sucker, and I was like, what better thing to get? I would go get my ugly stick.
So if you haven't watched Brian's video yet, he did actually use the ugly stick that he shows on his lives. So
not the first time. What did I use it for before? I used it on something. I can't remember what it was. Oh, I used it to make the blank that I'm going to put on the lathe this week.
Yeah. So I saw MT Homestead in here earlier, and I don't know if that was Mike or Terry or Mike and Terry or Mike or, you know, etc. But I was preparing. We got double dog dared to go somewhere this weekend. So I was getting ready for that. That's what I've been doing all evening. And so hopefully I just allowed at the last second. Christine asked me, she goes, is the oil changed in the vehicle? And I said, yeah, it's all good. You know, I'm sitting there thinking, yeah, I had that changed, et cetera, et cetera. Well, I got in it a while ago and I started up and moved it around. I looked at the mileage on it. I looked up at the oil change thing and I go, nope, I didn't do it. It's about 1,000 over. So we got to go in the morning first thing and get the oil changed. So, and then we got to see the cows, and then we're going to head out. And hopefully we don't get stuck at the cows.
That cow staring at you just didn't care.
They don't
did not care.
As long as it bring food, that's all they care about. That's
you
it.
did that again. Where's my food?
Pray no snakes. Yeah, no snakes. It is pretty far and snaky where we're going, but yeah. I'm praying no snakes, Melinda. So, no, Joey is not the only one that double dog dares Angie. I've been double dog dared twice, and both times it was the same person. It was Jesse at Lazy Days Ahead.
Melinda,
my question was, where was your tractor when you got stuck? My tractor was right here where we live, is where it was. I was actually headed over here because I was getting the, if you'll remember, we bought a sprayer for it, for the tractor at an auction, and I was here getting the sprayer all fitted up for it. So that's where it was.
Yeah, you need to get a tractor for both places.
Yeah, you're right.
Just pop that out.
It's got to happen because we're going to move cattle up here. We're going to be feeding cattle up here. We're going to have cattle down there, feeding cattle down there. So I'm going to have two tractors because dragging back and forth with one tractor just ain't going to work.
Maverick's in here. Maverick Workshop.
Hey, Maverick Workshop. Palmetto Paratrooper, those 1-ton trucks are awesome, just not in the mud. That's right. Not in the mud, wet grass. There's numerous things that dualies aren't worth a flip for. Troy Sutton started a new project with his nephews to teach them carpentry. That's awesome.
Palmetto's in here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Johnny
Johnny
Latecraft's in here.
Yep.
I said that though.
Hey, Johnny.
Yeah, I hope you guys are prepared for I hope it's better than that ugly stick I made. This first project I put on that lathe. I actually have some questions to ask of some of the people who do lathe work on a regular basis. Like, is end grain going to be tough to do? Spinning it against the grain? I meant to look that up today because I kind of want to put ends on my blank. End cap them with a darker wood. But I'm not sure how that works because I've never done anything major on a lathe yet.
Don't get me lying. The only lathe that I've ever done is metal lathe.
Yeah. Well, the same concept. I'm sure it's different when you're thinking about.
Well, yeah, it's got to be different because there's, going against the grain. I'm not sure.
Wet grass.
Well, those AMC Eagles, a lot of those were 4-wheel drive.
Howdy, howdy, howdy. There's Troy.
So LJ Woodwork said you had two orientations, spindle and cross grain.
Okay.
Hey, Troy. Wow, 44 watching. That'll go down now that I'm here. No, it won't, Troy. Hello, RNC Acres.
Troy's actually new to the lathe himself. While I was there, I think he spun his first. Well, I think he said he did something in high school or something like I did, but But his hammer was not ugly. His mallet was not ugly like mine.
Which pickup, James? Okay. He's put spindles like a pencil between the centers. Cross grain is pencil pointing towards you between the centers.
Yeah. But how does it do when you've got cross grain? Does it chew up? Or is it pretty much the same?
Oh, the old dually. Yeah. Yep, I've owned that one twice, James. I owned it once. What was it? 13, 14 years ago, 14 years ago now, I guess. And then I traded it off for the other one, the 3/4 ton, and then I actually bought it back from some individual on Facebook Marketplace.
So
I think it was 12 years after I'd traded it off when I bought it back.
how different was it? How different was it from when you last saw it? When you got it?
Oh,
back?
it has a few little dings in it here and there. I noticed somebody stole. It had the 600 series torque badges on it. Somebody stole those. Somebody stole the radio knobs off of it. The balance and fade or something like that, little knobs. And the hood's fading on the top and on the. The paint is fading on the hood and the top, and it had 30,000 more miles than it did whenever I owned it 12 years before. So that was the differences.
Which truck is it that doesn't have the air vent on the hood?
That'd be the dually. That'd be the one that we drove down to down there where I fell over a tree down there and
I fell over a tree.
Fell over a tree while my buddy just stood there and videoed it and laughed at me. Yeah.
As soon as you fell down, I walked straight over to you. It's in the video, John.
Yeah, he walked straight over to me and just, hey.
Well, I couldn't see. How was I going to see if I didn't? You were laughing about it pretty good when it happened. So
yeah,
don't act like a little victim.
Pull that victim.
Don't pull that victim stuff on me, or I'll have to dye your hair blue.
Yes, I bought it back, Melinda. It was well worth it. I'm telling you, it was well worth getting it back. Because that's the truck I should have never gotten rid of. Most people don't have an opportunity to get back the vehicle that they never should have gotten rid of.
Somebody in one of your videos did the same story with the tractor. Remember? It's in your video. In your video,
yeah,
somebody had a tractor that they sold and then bought back later, like you did. Truck.
Right. Yep. That happened for a gentleman who I went to an auction and there was a John Deere tractor there. It was an older, I believe it was a 2-wheel drive tractor. It could have been 4-wheel drive. It had a loader on it. And, I didn't expect it to go very high. I expected it to go for, I figured tops on that deal would be a couple of $1,000, $2 or $3. And it went for, I think it was $5,000. And I was like, how in the world did it? Well, the reason it went so high is because the original owner of the tractor was at the auction and he was bidding against another guy. The other guy won it. The original owner won it. He wasn't going to give it up. So they kept bidding it up. So I think it went to $5,000 for that tractor.
Troy, did you see the ugly stick in my video?
Yep, that's right, Melinda. There's a lot of things we should, I'm getting smarter about that. I'm not letting loose of a whole lot of stuff anymore. Of course, as you get older, you start thinking about, man, I'm never going to have time to mess with that. But Yep. I had a John Deere one time, Troy, but I had a John Deere. I had a 3010 John Deere, and I wish I could say I have fond memories of that tractor and it was awesome and all that kind of stuff. But you know what? It really wasn't. It was a piece of crap. I bought it from the John Deere dealership. It was supposed to be certified good used. And I'll tell you what, within the first 6 months, that thing spent more time on a rollback headed back to the John Deere place than it did me using it. So that's the only John Deere I've ever had. I guess that's why I'm not huge on the green tractors.
The only John Deere I have is that Gator, and the only reason why we got the Gator is because we looked at everything else and nothing else would get down the Grape Row. Fit it, sight, dimensionally. Everything was too big.
Others decided James Hall didn't need stuff. Well, I don't know how to take it. I don't know whether that means that they talked you into letting it go, or they stole it from you, or whatever.
My uncle.
Oh, it's Tony and Angie's anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
And he just locked his wife outside.
My uncle bought 2 John Deeres and he never even used them. They just sat there because he didn't like them.
Yeah, I tell you what, when I was looking for another tractor, I was looking at all kinds of, stuff. I even looked at a Mahindra. Oh my gosh. But I was looking at tractors and I climbed up on this John Deere and I noticed that like half the fenders were gone. And the hood, I reached up and I tapped on it and it was plastic. And I said, the fenders and hood on these things is plastic now? They said, oh yeah, it's if you tear it off, you just replace it. And it never rust. That was the selling point of it. I was like,
tractors don't really rust that much.
Yeah, they're kind of meant to be outside. I mean, even really old tractors are still pretty good tractors.
We have a 1965 Farmall, and the rust has not overtaken any of that.
Yeah, right.
Little surface rust where the paint had wore off, but that's it.
Yeah, they're designed for that kind of thing.
Well, it's not like a car where you're driving it out on the road and salt licking it to death.
Yeah, you guys got the salt thing up there. We don't have so much of that down here. Not a lot. I'm not going to say that they never put any salt out, but when they do, it's like on bridges and overpasses and hills. And so you can drive in the winter here without ever getting into any of that stuff if you pick your routes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Lori, what that is the ugly stick is a little wooden mallet that Brian made on a lathe. So, but it's pretty cool.
I don't have it with me, but I do have a picture of it.
He's going to show you a picture of it. Plastic might not rust, but it definitely dry rots. That's right. You have cows licking the feed truck. Yeah, certainly do.
Here's me using it. Okay, I guess I didn't get the clip right.
Right there it is.
The edited version. It just needed to be lightly tapped.
Who sounds like Hank Hill from King of the Hill, Maverick?
I think he's saying you do.
I've never watched King of the Hill, so I really don't know what Hank sounds like. I've been told, I can't remember, somebody said, I can't remember what somebody said I sounded like on my, I think they said I sound like Jed Clampett on, on one of my videos talking. It was one of my shorts talking to the cows or something like that.
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Howdy, Todd.
Hey, Brian, Johnny, how you doing?
Good.
Hey, I just want to jump in here real quick to answer your question. You were asking about the lathe.
Yeah.
So if I was doing spindle turning, right? You've watched Bailey when he does his tops. That's all spindle. So if that was mounted between the centers, spinning like this, that's your spindle turn. Okay. So your end grain, obviously at the two ends that you're cutting across. Easy turning this way. Your other option would be your typical bowl setup.
Yeah, and you're
so
going
end grains here, end grains over here. So when this is on the lathe, it's spinning this way.
Is there any
you always want to cut into supported grain? So that's why when you watch us, we start at the bottom. Let me keep this up here. Start at the bottom and work our way towards center. There. That way we cut this way. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and with
so if I was to try to cut from center down on a bowl configuration, I'm just going to rip out all this grain because it's not supported because the fibers behind it are shorter. Does that make sense?
I get it. That does make sense.
Yeah, but when you watch
I knew
like I said, in spindle orientation, outer to inner.
Yeah. I kind of knew I was going to have to take different precautions. I just hadn't really seen anybody talk about it. It just seemed because it would seem like it would splinter or chip easily.
Yeah, it's not easy, but you'll definitely notice it in the finish, and you'll be sanding a lot more.
And I've seen a couple places where they recommend that boiled linseed oil is a pretty good finish for, like I'm doing a mallet. The first thing I want to do is a mallet, so I got to finish it.
Yeah, you can use BLO, you can use walnut, you can use anything you have, really.
Really?
Just not olive oil or something like that.
Yeah, boiled linseed oil, I always heard about it self-combusting and stuff, so I wondered about that. But I watched some videos on it today, and
yeah, just leaving the rags out open to
dry out good. I guess doesn't matter. Or just throw them in the fire and get it over with.
Cool. One other thing I wanted to mention to you, Brian, for your lathe stand, you're going to want to put 2 cutouts in it. So you're going to want to have a cutout underneath your drive pulleys and another cutout underneath where the tailstock sits. That's your power control unit. He sits underneath there. So you want to basically have a spot for the shavings to fall out the bottom because they will get in there.
The whole thing's opened underneath the lathe.
It looked like it was sitting on a flat plywood.
I actually have two base. It's wide open underneath it.
Okay. Yeah, because if you fill up the power control unit, it can overheat and it'll fail, and then you're gonna be calling your Laguna to get parts. So you don't want to do that.
A second here.
Johnny's lathe craft saying he puts his oil-soaked towels in a jug of water.
See that big old opening in the middle? That's all open. There's 2 platforms.
Where does the lathe screw on?
Into the platform. Let me show you a better picture of it.
Good night, Melinda. Howdy, Dawn. How are you? I saw you in here.
Oh, I got it going. See how it's open underneath it?
You see right under the tailstock where it's not?
Tailstock.
And then the area underneath your drive pulley. So you know the area you open it up if you want to change your belt position?
Yeah.
That's going to fill up with chips. And if it does, the belt's going to pick those chips up and just start spinning them round and round and round.
Oh, you mean make an opening underneath? Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
I
The
get
more
it.
important one is the one underneath the tailstock because that's where your power control module sits. So you don't want that getting filled up with chips and overheating.
Good night, Belinda.
Good to know. Good to
We're
know.
probably boring everybody with lathe talk.
Well, this is what this channel's about. is-
All right, Brian. One other thing for you, challenge for you. Your first project's going to be a mallet. Let's see if you can pull this one off.
Oh, come on. I've only done one. I haven't even done one project other than the ugly stick. And you want me to do dovetails in a bowl?
Yeah.
What's boring funny? Bar run.
No.
Oh, you say that's what this channel's about, boring funny.
Baby Kisses is in here.
Oh, baby kisses. Yeah, she's a pretty good carver.
Just like I said at the end of my video, this isn't finished. I need to know what it needs to do before I can finalize any design on it. So it's a stand. It's standing there. Now I apparently need to make openings so it can breathe.
Yeah. Like I said, you'll know when the belt area fills up. You'll hear it. It doesn't sound good.
How does it get in there? Just
They find a way.
okay. Well, that's an easy fix. I mean, all I have to do is trace out the lathe base and cut a hole there.
Yeah. Just take a jigsaw, drill a couple holes, run it around in there.
I get it. Good to know. Thank you for telling me that because I didn't
Absolutely.
even thought of that. But that's why we're part of a community.
Right.
We're supposed to tell each other stuff when we know stuff.
If we know.
If
Yeah. I tried to put it in the chat, but the chat was flying at the beginning. So
Tips with Todd.
oh.
Is that your second channel? Is that your second channel? Tips with Todd?
Maybe it should be.
I would. Your channel's picking up fat. I mean, you're already at 1,750, and you really started. When did
Yeah,
you-
it took 10 weeks. But I was kind of cheating because I'm using the lathe and doing vertical lives.
Yeah.
So my viewership on the vertical lives ramped up really fast. Like
Yeah, they do.
from my first vertical live, I think 400 people were in, and the last one I did had 183,000.
Yeah.
But then my regular videos still only get 40 views. YouTube.
40.
I gotta go back and watch Johnny's
Well,
instructional videos.
You know, the algorithms are really tough. And I mean, I'm going to bring up something with Johnny when I'm talking to him after the live for sure. But he'll probably say, well, you're just imagining it. It happens all the time, Johnny.
It does. I'm telling you, you're not unique to any of it.
No, I know. It's just amazing how the algorithms are. There might be similar between different channels, but there are some things that are just totally different.
Yeah. You know, you're talking about, Todd, you were talking about how you have some shorts that are doing really well.
I
You
had
did
some.
say that, right? You
Live.
said you had shorts that were doing really well.
Lives that
vertical
go through the
lives.
shorts. Yeah, those go through the shorts feed.
Yeah.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm out there. I set up for 2 bowls on the lathe. Takes me about an hour to carve them or to turn them, and
Yeah.
yeah, it was. I mean, you could see the trend. Like I said, my first one, I think I had 400 views. Next time I did 800. Then I broke 1,000, then 2,000, and it just.
Yeah.
But as I said, none of those people are watching the regular videos.
Oh, Tony or Troy's got his drywall, or it's actually Eli's drywall, probably for his tiny house. Well, good luck with that.
Nice.
Hope it works out well. I know it's not a project I like to do.
Hay work tomorrow. Must be drier where you're at, Troy. We haven't been able
just
to
had
do
some
anything with hay.
significant storms come through here.
Yeah, there were south of us had some pretty big storms, but we missed it all. That's right. You're south of me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Todd, are you in Oklahoma?
No.
I
No,
can't
I'm in
remember.
Dayton, Ohio.
You're in Ohio too.
It's close to Troy.
Yeah.
So
Close.
Yeah, I'm about
I couldn't remember
hour
who is
and
that
15
that's over here in
minutes from Troy.
Oklahoma that you were telling me that you were trying to talk into coming to the meetup, Brian?
Yes.
One of the
Oh, probably
makers.
Steve. Is Steve from My Honey's Handmade or Dan's Homestead?
Yeah, Steve is from Oklahoma, near you.
Yeah.
Johnny.
What's the channel called?
My
My
Honey's Handmade or
Okay.
Homemade, yeah.
Jeff Killian's in here.
Yeah. That's right. The ground cannot hold any more water. We're actually, there's years whenever we don't get any hay because of the drought, and then there's years we don't get any hay because of the rain. And this is going to be one of those we can't get any hay because of the rain. Right now, the only people who have been baling hay at this point are people who are making silage out of it. They're making silage and then grinding it. But we're not able to do anything with dry hay. Let's just put it that way.
That is one crop that is definitely one of the bigger gambles. I mean,
Yeah.
we gamble with our grapes every year, but
See, and that first cutting of hay every year, we rely on some cool season grasses in the first cutting of hay. So the cool season grasses have actually all grown up, died, and fell over now. So we missed that whole thing. What really needs to happen is we need to actually get that out of there and then try to get new grass to grow up through all that mess. I mean, the hay fields are a mess right now, and we won't be able to get into them for another. I bet we can't even drive across them in 2 weeks.
and then in a month you'll be crying about drought too.
Oh yeah, we're only 2 weeks away from a drought, no matter what. I mean, that 2 weeks that we can't drive across it, then we'll be in a drought.
I sure do envy where you live. Envy it all the time. I have 3 whole months that it might snow, and then and then the rest of it's all
Yeah, you get ticks.
we might
Ticks and snakes
Well,
and
I think that streak of luck with the ticks is over because they're out there. They're out there, and Dexter actually got a bite on his eyelid again, but this time it got a little, almost like a pimple or something.
Yeah, Jeff Killian, you got that right. We could plant rice. It is
It would
something.
dry up by it, and that's when it would dry all up.
no, Pilato Creations is in. How you doing, sir?
Yeah, as I was saying, Todd's got some really nice stuff, unique stuff actually on his channels. You go check it out because I like it.
Yeah, my last couple of videos have been too narrow in focus, but they were things other people asked for. So
Yeah.
like how to use the carbides, then how to sharpen the carbides, and that's such a limited number of people, but it'll help out the folks that ask for it.
Yeah, that could be an evergreen though.
Yeah, evergreen video that's very searchable. Yeah, I'm hoping like I said, I got to talk to Johnny after this live because I'm perturbed. Kind of perturbed as to why my video just died.
Well, I mean, there's
Oh, I have the answer. I'll just talk to you about it after.
okay. Cool.
I was going to say, well, here's what you do: go to a field and find a bull. That seems to be about all you need to do. I've been seeing ever since I started watching Johnny. Now half my feed is people with bulls. Like next one after him was that guy with that bull Rufus, and I've seen probably 7 or 8 others. People doing shorts with bulls that are all getting like 60,000 views.
When I'm going through
Yeah.
the shorts feed, Johnny is every 10th one.
But
I do see a lot of going farms in there.
Yeah, I mean, that's good and all and everything, but you can get caught up in the shorts deal where, you get a huge short audience and then you don't really have a long form video audience. They'll watch every one of your shorts you put out, but your long form stuff will just die on the vine right there.
It really depends on what you want your channel to be, because there are some very successful shorts channels.
If you get really lucky, and I'm going to say it right now, I got really lucky. I figured out how to have people watch long form and shorts. So that's the wrong Rufus, Lori. that's not, yeah.
Well, one thing that you do,
I don't even want to talk about that. So
the one thing that you guys
naming their bull Rufus.
The one thing that you do right, Johnny, and a lot of people don't, is your shorts are about your channel. I mean, and I'm guilty of it. I mean, as much as trucks and cars and stuff are something I enjoy, it really doesn't fit into my channel all that well. So like this, I got a short today that I put out yesterday, and it was, and then I went to go I'm going to tell you what my peeve is right now. I went and put my lathe video out, my lathe cart video out, and that short, which was pretty much dead, decided it wanted to ramp it up. And it went up to 17,000 and killed my content video.
I don't think it has anything to do with it.
Then why does it keep happening?
Because your shorts. All right, I'm gonna just put it this way: on Gillum Farms, my short will never kill a long form video. The short will not do it. I can kill another short with it, but not a long form video.
Oh, you don't ever pit 2 shorts up against each other, because then you screw both of them.
You can. But long form videos don't care. You know how you say, I don't care, long form videos don't care about what you're
That's why I want to leave this right. Because
there's Steve.
This has happened to me at least 20 times. I mean, it happens a lot. I put a short out, it kills my content.
Are you sure it's killing it?
When it's going well, and then
okay, videos typically go well. Long form videos go well starting off. That's what happens with long form videos. If you put them out at a time when people can watch them, long form videos will do well. It's how long they stay, how long they will keep going. That is up to how long people will stay on it, for one thing. If people will stay, like you watch your algorithm, if people will stay on it long enough, if you get enough, what you call feedback, if you get enough likes, if you get enough stuff, then YouTube will continue to push that long form video. But if they see, you take off, you get, say you get 100 views in an hour or whatever, 200, whatever. I don't know what your normal is or anything like that. But what they're going to do is they're going to look at that. They're going to look at what you got on that and how long people stayed in there. If people only stayed in there for, 3 minutes and they didn't get to that magical 8-minute mark in your video, and they see that early, then they're going to say there's no reason to keep pushing this video. So the video will start to die. And that's the reason why your shorts will do so well a lot of times, is because if you can keep people in there for 120% of your short, which means they've watched it fully all the way through, plus they've started it over again. If you can keep them doing that, at least 120% of a short, then your shorts will continue to climb. So that's the difference between, why a short can do so well and a long form video can die quickly. They've just somebody's got to stay in there long enough. They got to stay in there long enough. You got to get enough feedback, and you've got to get, even if it's just 40 people that have watched it, they've got to stay in there long enough for YouTube to think that it's worth pushing this video.
I had the more than usual green arrow. Whatever.
The more than usual green arrow.
In other words, it's saying the people are staying in here longer than they normally do.
Okay.
Hey,
I'm
Pine
just
and
going
Oak, how's it
to
going?
say it's
Pete?
the long game, Brian. It's not the short game. So, and whenever I say the long game, I mean you need to have, we've talked about this before. You have just actually started getting on a regular schedule of putting out videos. This has just started. Give it time. Give it time. So you need to put out something.
That is definitely true.
On the same, you got to get on a schedule and you got to stick to it.
But you know what? I'm confident in that video that it will do well eventually.
Yeah, it could be an evergreen.
That is
It's a really
definitely
good video.
an evergreen video, because for one thing, it's Laguna lathe, and another, it's a cart for it. And I looked at
definitely got some keyword searches in there.
Oh, I got a pretty good title on it.
Yeah, Palmetto Paratrooper said, "Why comment multiple times instead of leaving one big comment? You get more engagement." That's right. I'll tell you somebody who's a master at that. And that's Tamara. I
hadn't thought about that.
If they will, more commenting will help. And Tamara, she'll get in there and she'll make a comment about like everything you do. You'll make a comment, and it really helps.
You know what? I wasn't even thinking about that, because Johnny, that I'll watch your video, and throughout the video I will make a comment.
As you come to a point, right?
It's all in one. I should make them all separate comments. Good to know. Good to know, people. You're going to make several comments. You might as well do separate ones.
I wonder what would happen if you just typed comment 10 times.
Comment.
I don't know.
Yes, plate operations.
Or if they just see that as engagement.
Oh, I need to say hi to some people I kind of haven't. There's Pine and Oak Woodworks, and there's who was the other one? Paleto. And seems like there was somebody else.
Old Path's in here.
Who?
Old Path.
Oh yeah, Josh. Did I see him? Oh, there's My Honey Homemade right there. Thanks for stopping in. We got a little caught up in talking, and
Johnny started teaching.
You guys, well, that's fine. I mean, that's what I want on my lives, is people learning and promoting their channels, and supposed to be conversation like that.
Right. Yeah, he likes people to learn and things like that. That's why, the makers community and stuff.
Otherwise, I'm just sitting here blabbling about nothing. It's got to be about something.
Yeah. So, well, I'm gonna babble about something real quick, okay? So I heard that there's a group of people. Who all out there watches Pole Barn Garage? I'm a big car nut, okay? I'm a big car nut, all right? If you watch my channel at all, you know that I put some car stuff on there. Jennifer Ocean, you can go to sleep right now if you're out there. But Pole Barn Garage, Dalton, has put together a drive to the Duct Tape Drags in Tucson, Arizona, going down Route 66 in basically he's called it the Poverty Tour, which means everybody's driving pretty much junk down there. And if you watch Pole Barn Garage show or videos, you know that that's what it's about, driving junk cross country and stuff like that, fixing it, driving it. So I am putting together, and it comes right through our area. I mean, it starts at Joplin, which is just right over here. It's going to go right down Route 66 to Tucson. We stay at like 4 different cities. I think we stay at, the first one is at Oklahoma City. The second place that we're going to stay is in Amarillo. The third place is in, I believe it's Grants, New Mexico. And then Globe, Arizona, Grants, New Mexico, Globe, Arizona, and then on to Tucson, Arizona. So I booked hotel rooms last night, got all the hotels booked. I'm going to put together either a 77 Pontiac Trans Am that I've got stuck in a barn over there where the cattle are. It's a 4-speed car. Hadn't been running in 17 years probably at this point. And I'm either going to drive that one or I'm going to drive a 1969 GTO that I've got sitting out here in this shop that hasn't been running in several years as well. So, but that's what I've got going on, and that's in October. So I'm going to be putting that video of getting a car running, getting it ready to go, and then going on this tour, I guess you'd call it, across down Route 66 in an old, either a Trans Am or a muscle car. And you notice I didn't say Trans Am or 2 muscle cars. I said Trans Am or muscle car. Trans Ams aren't muscle cars. Camaros aren't muscle cars. Mustangs aren't muscle cars, et cetera, et cetera. That stuff it's all pony cars is what it is. So. And Tony says,
you'll have a great time doing that.
Well, I'm going to make it happen. I mean, we've already booked the rooms, so it's going to happen irregardless.
Sounds fun.
And what's going to be, we're going to have to leave Pinecone Fest actually early. We'll probably have to leave Pinecone Fest Saturday afternoon to head back, because we've got to be on the road the next morning we're either going to meet them at the Blue Whale. The Blue Whale is one of the stops that they're going to do. I'll probably meet them at the Blue Whale.
I was going to save this story for after the live, but I might as well tell it now so everybody can hear it. The guy that I follow that does the big muffler men and stuff like that, which prompted you to take me to the Blue Whale. He was there 3 days after we were at the Blue Whale. And
no, really?
And then I drove past the museum for his, it's not his, but it is a major museum for those fiberglass statues. And I drove past that 3 days before he was there doing like a meetup that I could have gone to. So that was kind of like, because I mentioned to him in one of the comments, I said, I was just at the Blue Whale 4 weeks ago. He goes, yeah, well, I was at Blue Whale 3 days later.
Tony will be leaving from El Reno on Monday morning. So we're going to stay the night in El Reno, Oklahoma.
I'm sorry, Plato. I saw you down there.
Hey,
And
Pilato.
Howdy.
Did you see Baby Kiss's comment that her husband used to race a GTO?
Oh, let me see. I did not. My word, my husband used to race a GTO. Cool.
That's what yours is, right, Johnny?
The one I race all the time is a GTO. It's a 69, but the one I'm putting together is also another 69 GTO. And I'm going to drive either one. I mean, I'm not sure which one yet, but we'll see. Whatever it is, it's going to be cool going down Route 66. I'm telling you.
all right, let's talk to Plato for a second here because why don't you give us a little spiel on what your channel is about and what you would like to accomplish with it?
What is my channel about?
You're on the spot.
I am reminded of what I used to tell my mom when I was leaving the house on like a weekend evening. She would say, "Hey, what are you going to go do?" And I'd say, "I'm going to go look for loud music, hard liquor, and fast women." And she would say, "Okay, have a good time," knowing that I wouldn't find maybe but one of the things. My channel isn't about any of those things, but similar to my mom, that's not what I was really going to do. But no, really on the channel, I do some woodworking, I do some garage projects, some shop projects. It's a little bit of a mix of whatever is tickling my fancy, but mostly related to wood or shop projects.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Yep.
And I was listening to your conversation a bit ago about some of the YouTube stuff, and that got me very curious. And so as I was in the backstage there, I pulled up some of the analytics for my last few long form videos that I released, and I'm just curious how this compares to some of I don't know how closely you guys follow your analytics, Johnny. It sounds like you're on the spot, Johnny on the spot, so to speak. And so I'm just wondering how these compare to what your typical videos are doing, and maybe give me some direction on what I should be looking at to do differently to get better watch hours, better engagement, all that sort of thing. So my last few videos, my lowest click-through rate was 2.3%, and my highest was 5.2%. And then on my let me pull up the engagement here. My average percentage viewed, and this was going back to what you were saying, Johnny, about people get to 3 minutes and they don't make it to the 8-minute mark. People are rarely making it to the 3-minute mark in my videos. So looks like average percentage viewed on this one, 29.9%, 28%, 28%, 28%, 28.9%. So pretty consistently 28% of the videos, and averaging a little bit.
How long is the video?
Generally, they're going to be less than 10 minutes. So let's see. Let me go back to this.
How long are you're making them less than 10-minute long, your videos?
No, so the last 5 videos, they've been 7.5, 7.5, 5, 9.5, and 7 3/4 minutes.
Okay. Make your videos.
Excuse me for a second.
Over 8 minutes long.
Excuse me. We have to. We can all stay and talk about this stuff, but we got to go as far as the live is concerned. So let me close it, and then we'll go back to that. I want to thank everybody that came into the chat tonight. You're going to want to go over and see Peter at Old Man King Homestead. He's on right now. Thank you to my moderators, and thank you to Paleto and Todd and Johnny for coming up on panel. And we'll see you next week, Wednesday, 9 o'clock Central. Bye for now.
Bye, guys.
Later.